This is the number non-calculator set D. So you should have done sets A, B, and C by now and been pretty good at them. So let's see if we've gotten, and you've gotten set D completely correct and you are able to do it. So looking at set D, okay, there's some questions which are a slight twist in here, but it's testing that you really understand this. So the cube root of 8,000, the cube root of 8 is 2, the cube root of 1,000 is 10, 2 times 10 is 20. That's how you need to think about it. That's how you do this particular one. Okay, in the next one, given what you know already, you need to times the first fraction top and bottom by 9. You need to times the second fraction top and bottom by 2. And that's going to become 9 over 18 and 8 over 18. When you add 9 and 8, you get 17 over 18. That's your final answer. And you should be pretty comfortable with that. Question 3. 5 times 3 is 8 is 15. 9 times 4 is 36. That is my result. Simple timesing fractions. When you're dividing, you should know this by now. You change the divide to a times and you're going to flip the second fraction. So that's going to become 3 over 10 times 9 over 5. 9 times 3 is 27. 10 times 5 is 50. That's it. Spot on. Pretty straightforward. Anything to the power of 0 is 1. Easy peasy. That's a pretty straightforward mark. Question 6. All these numbers, because the question said estimate, I need to round it to run them all to one significant figure. So 3.6 is going to become 4. 53.2 is going to become 50. And 0.14, I'm going to chop it off there, and that's going to become 0.1. So that's what my rounded version is going to look like. That's my estimate. And it should be pretty straightforward calculations. 4 times 50 is 200. When you're dividing by 0.1, remember I said think about it as money. 0.1 is 10p. There are 10 p's in a pound. So I need to times by 10. 200 times 10 is 2,000. And that's my result there. 169 to the power of a half. That means the square root of 169. Square root of 169 is 13. Right? Pretty straightforward, and that's one of the square numbers you need to know. 8 to the power of minus a half is 1 over 8 squared, which is 1 over 64. Again, make sure you know that and you're really comfortable with question 8. Question 9. 17.5% of 360. So that's 10% is 36. 5% is 18, and 2.5% is 9. So to get 17.5%, I need 10, 5, and 2.5. Yep, so I need to add up the 36, the 18, and the 9 together to make 17.5%. I think that's going to work out, yep, at 63. 525 as the product of primes, so let's do a factor tree for that. I'm going to split it up into 21 and 25. I know that 21 lots of 25 is 525. So 21 I'm going to split into 3 and 7. 25 I'm going to split into 5 and 5. And that's it. Those 4 numbers at the bottom. 3 is prime, 7 is prime, 5 is prime, and so I'm going to stop there. So 525 is 3 times 5 times 5 times 7. Question 11. I need to put a decimal point between the 3 and the 0 over here. Right? So that's going to become 3.05. Okay, 3.05 times 10 to the power of. The decimal point is at this end right now, so I'm going to move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's going to be times 10 to the 5. Make sure you're totally comfortable with this and can do this. Question 12. This is a tiny number, so I know when I write it in standard form, the power of 10 is going to be negative. So I'm going to put the decimal point between the 7 and the 1. So it's going to be 7.1 times 10 to the power of. I'm going to move the decimal point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places. So it's 7.1 times 10 to the minus 5. Okay, question 13. I just need to annotate this question as I go along, and I highly recommend that you always do this to ratios question. Joe and Bill share some money in the ratio of 4 to 7. So 4 is Joe and 7 is Bill. Okay, so as a result, Bill gets £21 more than Joe. So find the difference between these two. 7 take away 4 is 3. So 3 parts is worth £21. That means 1 part is £7. 21 divided by 3. If 1 part is worth 21, one part is worth £7. How much money did Bill get? Bill got 7 parts, so that's 7 lots of 7, which is 49. Okay, make sure you take your time with that question, and you can do it well. Question 14. Okay, so Ben and Tim share some money in the ratio 8 to 5. So that's Ben and that's Tim. Tim gets the 5 parts. Ben got £40. So 8 parts is worth £40. One part is 40 divided by 8, which is 5. Make sure you're good with your times tables, and you can do that. Okay, so if one part is worth £5, how much did Tim get? Tim gets 5 parts. He's going to get 5 lots of 5, which is 25. He gets £25. Question 15. Okay, we've done several of these so far. I need to do 3 times 9 times 10 to the 6 minus 6, 10 to the minus 6 times 10 to the minus 3. Remember, I'm going to just do 3 times 9, which is 27, times 10 to the minus 6 times 10 to the minus 3. I'm just going to add the powers. What's minus 6 added to minus 3? That's going to be minus 9. Okay, make sure you're comfortable with that adding. It's not particularly complex. It should be pretty straightforward. That 27, though, is not in standard form. It's a number more than 10. So I need to change it in standard form. I'm going to put a decimal point between the 2 and the 7 to change it to 2.7 times 10 to the 1. Now, I'm going to times that by 10 to the minus 9. If I bring these two together, right, I need to add the powers, so it's going to become 2.7 times 10 to the minus 8. 1 plus minus 9 is minus 8. Make sure you're totally comfortable with that. Question 16. Write as a fraction first. Do the division. 8 divided by 4 is 2. And 10 to the 12 divided by 10 to the 3. I'm going to subtract the powers. 12 take away 3 is 9. There's my result. Question 17. Write this as a fraction first. 56 over 80. Turn the denominator into 10. So in this case, I need to divide 80 by 8 and 56 by 8. 80 divided by 8 is 10. 56 divided by 8 is 7. So I'm getting 7 over 10. Should be pretty straightforward now. You should be quite comfortable with this. Turn it into 70 over 100, which is 70%. Okay, question 18. Write down the value of 25 to the power of 3 over 2. This is similar to the one in set B, right? You need to keep the half inside and the 3 outside. So that's going to become 25 to the power of a half, which means square root of 25. The square root of 25 is 5. 5 cubed is 125. Okay, 5 cubed is 125. Question 19, I'm going to times the top and bottom by root 2. So that's root 2 over root 2, so 24 times root 2 and root 2 times root 2. And that's going to become 24 root 2 over 2. 24 divided by 2 is 12. So here's my final answer, 12 root 2. Question 20. Just do the timesing as we did before. Draw the connector lines. So 7 times 3 is 21. Root 6 times root 6 is 6. And they're both positive, so it's going to be positive root 6. Root 6 times 3 is 3 root 6. And because it's positive 3 root 6. 7 times root 6 is 7 root 6. And again, it's positive, so it's positive 7 root 6. 21 add 6 is 27. 3 root 6 add 7 root 6 is 10 root 6. That should be a 6 over there. 10 root 6. Root 6. Okay, that should be 10 root 6. Okay, alright. Make sure you're comfortable with this. Make sure you are able to do it. And do check it over repeatedly. Right. See me if you need any help with any of these, but make sure all the non-calculator ones you can do. Please go over them again and make sure you're really comfortable with each of the questions and how to get the answers for them, and how to apply the knowledge you know.